Hey all, Matt from the Mistake Zone here, and I am here once again to drop some of my thoughts on some of the debuting anime in the 2024 summer anime season. As always, this is going to be my personal view on things that I'm excited for after reading the manga for these newly debuting anime. But as always, to start off, I want to do some quick hits on some of the big returning anime that are going to be there for the 2024 summer anime season. First off, Shy is going to be getting a second season, followed up by what's going to be probably a very big comeback, Oshinoko Season 2. We're also going to be getting a second season for Tower of God. And then what was probably the biggest surprise for me to see on the 2024 summer anime season lineup for returning anime is Kimi ni Todoke, coming back with a season 3 on Netflix. But again, as usual, before we jump into the totally new debuting anime for the season, there are some familiar properties that are going to be getting a new anime season that honestly I think are pretty big surprises. The first is that the Terminator franchise is going to be getting a Netflix anime at the end of August called Terminator Zero. And it is still so far away from the debut that there are only screen grabs out right now. But then something that has a bit more preview videos for it is something that makes sense for me, but I'm still surprised to see, is the Rick and Morty anime. And one other one that I want to give a quick mention to while we're still in this, Western media becoming an anime type mood is that not only is Suicide Squad getting an anime, it is going to be an isekai anime. And jumping off of the Suicide Squad isekai, I think we can go straight into the new 2024 summer anime season by dropping right into another isekai. Failed Your Frame, I became the strongest and annihilated everything with low-level skills. And not only does this hit the usual isekai checkmark for my anime season videos, it also hits my really long title checkmark that I love to put into these anime season videos. Now, as far as isekais go, I think Failure Frame is one of my more recent favorites. So Failure Frame is one of the isekais that falls into the betrayed hero or main character category. A lot like the start of Shield Hero or Ari Fureta. The main character, along with a whole bunch of others, is brought into an alternate world, and everybody in that group is given powers, and because the main character's power is perceived to be bad, he's basically just thrown into the wilderness and left to die. But in the classic betrayed isekai trope, his ability actually turns out to be very good. He survives being left for dead, and he starts walking down the path of vengeance. Now, as far as the kind of quote-unquote edgy betrayal type isekais go, I really like the main character in this one. I think the main character is very correctly motivated, he's pretty level-headed, has a good grasp on their power set, and as a result, plans his battles very realistically. While he is, a overpowered character, I think the series does a very good job of growing his power at a reasonable rate that is entertaining to watch. Additionally, as far as isekais go, I really like that this main character isn't just building a harem. The characters that are added to his party are all, I think, very good characters within their own right. They're not just there to be fan service for the watchers and, not be able to really hold their own in whatever they're trying to do. Plus, as far as isekai powers go, I really like the power that the main character gets in this isekai because it is very different from your standard isekai powers. And as a result, it does make the battles feel a little different from most other isekai anime. So I think if you're looking for a solid isekai to watch this season with an interesting main character, an interesting power set, a good supporting cast, and I think one of the more understandable escalations throughout plots, I think that failure frame is definitely a good way to go. But switching genres entirely from isekai to rom-com, Alya Sometimes Hides Her Feelings in Russian is a rom-com that I want to push to you this season. Now, this is your usual otaku cross popular girl rom-com series, and I think it's probably going to be the biggest one of this variety for the season. As the kind of title suggests, the main shtick of this series is that the titular female character, Alya, is a half Japanese, half Russian girl that has a crush on our male main character, and whenever the male main character does something that she likes, she says something in Russian that usually is like something like, "Oh, I like you," or "That's cute," or "I love you," or something like that, thinking that the male character can't understand her. But of course, in typical anime and, rom-com fashion, he can perfectly understand Russian. He has just never told her this. Now, one thing that really stands out to me in this series is kind of like the focus on Russian. And as somebody who, doesn't speak Russian at all, I am very curious to know whether the quality of Russian in this anime is good or bad. Because I know that anime tend to have a very iffy hit rate on getting foreign languages done correctly. But like a real concern that I have about this show, though, is that I'm concerned that people are going to drop it very early. Because I'm wondering if the anime is going to follow the exact same story beats and progression as the manga. Because if they do, I worry that the show is going to feel very shallow for maybe the first 2 or 3 episodes. Because the first few chapters in the manga really do kind of just hit the main characters interact, female main character says something in Russian, and the male character gets embarrassed. That is almost how exactly the first few manga chapters of this go. And it isn't really until a bit further into the manga series, to the point where I would expect it to fall maybe in the 3rd or 4th episode, where they really dive into the relationship of the 2 main characters. And I think that the foundation of the relationship for the 2 main characters is actually pretty good. But since it comes not so late, but a little later than I think it should, I'm worried that people are going to drop this early thinking it's just going to be, kind of a standard otaku popular girl type of manga, when I think it doesn't really get its legs until a little bit later. But if the otaku popular girl trope is your thing, I think that this is a series that's well worth sticking with to see if it really is your jam. But going from a standard rom-com to a more comedic harem type show, Too Many Losing Heroines is the next show that I'm going to be pushing to you. So for all my 1000 IQ tap water drinking homies out there who are into slightly menhara anime girls, this is the show for you. We all know the concept of an anime harem, which is basically that a bunch of girls are chasing the male main character, and in the end, he picks one of the girls to start going out with. This anime is a quote-unquote harem anime where the male main character ends up kind of in the middle of a bunch of different standard harem anime groups and sort of ends up forming a pity party harem of his own, made up of the girls who lost in their respective other harems. And it's not only girls who have already lost, it seems like it's girls who are losing, who are probably going to be losing their other respective harems. And I don't know, it is just a fun concept to be playing with. This is very much one of those things that I consider to be like a level 3 anime where the humor is more so about the subversion and playing on the classic harem tropes. And I still do really like the characters that they've decided to put into this anime. Even though it is, basically just a standard harem with extra steps, I think it does its gimmick very nicely, and it has nice interactions between all the characters within its cast. If something like Oresuki, Are You Really the Only One Who Likes Me, was an anime that you enjoyed, I think that Too Many Losing Heroines is going to be right up your alley. But going from a standard harem anime to a pseudo-harem anime, we are going to be going to Giji Harem, which literally translates to pseudo-harem. So Giji Harem is a completed manga series, and based on the previews that they've shown for this series, it seems like they are going to be adapting the whole story, which is a very big surprise to me. The series is a slice of life rom-com where the main conceit is that the two main characters who are part of the drama club are just basically interacting with each other all the time. The male main character is, kind of I think a very energetic, like funny dumb kind of male MC. And then the female main character is a aspiring actress who likes to act for her crush, the male main character. The main gimmick of the series is the pseudo-harem nature of it, where female MC, being an aspiring actress, is able to act out several personalities. Where, she can act like a tsundere, she can act like a cool character, she can act like a cheeky brat. Which, leads to all the situations that are going to be playing out throughout this slice of life comedy. Honestly, with the ability to kind of have a bunch of different character personalities play out, it is really just a light, fun rom-com with a lot of classic anime trope scenes in it with a little bit of a twist to it because of the ability of the acting female main character. One thing, though, that I am very curious about is that the manga chapters for this show are all very short. They are only 4 to 6 pages each, so it is a bunch of short reads that read a lot more like, quick one-off jokes. And I'm wondering how they are going to be connecting them all together to create a full anime episode. But honestly, I am looking forward to seeing how they're going to do it, because this is probably my favorite series of the manga that I've read that are getting an anime this season, and the female main character is being voiced by one of my favorite seiyus, Saori Hayami, who is probably most well known for doing the voices for Yor in Spy Family, Shinobu in Demon Slayer, and my personal favorite, Kakegurui's Yumiko. And I'm really looking forward to seeing the kind of twists, I guess, she's going to add to each of the different personalities that the main character acts out. And yes, of course, I don't think that there is going to be a single 2024 summer anime season video that isn't including this anime. Shikanoko Noko Noko Koshi or My Dear Friend Nokotan, has created such a huge brain rot meme within the anime community that I am legitimately surprised if somehow you got to this season's recommendation video without also ever seeing that particular meme. This is a series that focuses on a pair of what I want to say are friends and their crazy daily life. The first, and I think the more kind of like main character, I think, is Koshi Torako, who is the kind of normal person within this anime who is going to be acting as the kind of reactor to everything that's going to be happening around her. And then we, of course, have Nokotan, the dear girl who is going to be bringing a whole bunch of crazy into Torako's life. This is a series that very much is one of those, I guess this is happening style of comedies. I think that if Tears Time for Dojo Princess was a type of comedy that appealed to you, if Nichijou was the type of comedy that appealed to you, if the more wacky stuff of Wasteful Days of High School Girls was something that appealed to you, if the whole kind of absurdity style of comedy is something that appeals to you, I think that this is definitely going to be a show that vibes with you. The show does a good job of kind of slowly escalating everything, where once you get to the end point, the idea you have of what is normal at that end point is going to be what was crazy at the start. And I really, really appreciate that kind of escalation that happens throughout this series. I unfortunately do think that this is not going to be the comedy style that's going to click with everyone, but I think for the people who it does click with, it's going to click so good. And I honestly think that there is going to be at least one more anime meme that's going to come out of this series before the season is over. So I'm really, really looking forward to seeing what the animation can bring. But based on the manga that I've read in the past, these are the shows that I think I am confident in pushing for the 2024 summer anime season. If you have any questions, comments, or clarifications on any of these anime that I talked about or any of the other summer 2024 animes that are going to be dropping, drop a message in the comments. If you have any suggestions for anime that I didn't talk about that you think I should go watch, let me know. Because going through the list of anime that are coming out this season, VTuber Legend looks interesting. No Longer Allowed in Another World is another interesting looking one. The action that they were showing in Wistoria looks really eye-catching to me. And Elusive Samurai has such a captivating art style. But if you made it this far into the video, I want to say, thanks for watching the video. If you did, thanks for leaving a like on the video. Maybe thanks for subbing to the channel. And I hope that one of the anime that I'm looking forward to this season will become one of the anime that you're looking forward to this season. And as always, this has been The Mistake Zone, and we still have a lot of summer 2024 anime to watch.